So, hello everybody, this is Bo Yoder for rethinkyourroi.info and 3dapextrading.com. Time to update our trade in gold. Now, if you remember, and I'll link to the previous video in the description and below this post, but we talked a lot about the differences between a swing trade and more of a strategic position trade. Now, gold had a classic swing trade. We had exactly the pullback that I had expected. You can see here the line that I drew that is left over from our video, a week or two ago now. We had the pullback in gold just as the 3D Apex methodology forecast, and then sure enough we got a move right up to our target area, this moving average here. The pink dotted line is our 100 period moving average. And that corresponds with the 20 period moving average on the weekly, which I think we discussed, which was really the reason why we didn't believe that this trade was going to be a long-term trade, but that it was going to have short-term price appreciation potential, right? It's a swing trade. You can go ahead and get in. And as luck would have it, it came down right around 125, 124, found its support as we talked about in that zone, and then bounced right back up to the next resistance level. Plenty of profit potential there, a couple bucks worth of travel, and a nice little, what I would call a grinder money opportunity, right? It's a good chance to go in, make a 2 to 3% on the trade, and then get ready for the next trade. Now, what is the next trade? Well, first off, very much confirmed that this trade is over. So if you're in this trade, don't overstay your welcome. I would expect it to get either ugly or just go sideways now, because there's really no passion here. You can see there's no interest in the momentum indicator. That's a real non-confirmation for this move. So I wouldn't expect there to be all that much more movement pushing forward. If we go to the weekly chart, you'll remember that this weekly has rallied up here to resistance in the form of the 20 period moving average, and I really think has a high likelihood for a double bottom. So this little wiggle that we took part in and talked about in the previous video, and now we're following up on, you can see it just barely even shows up on a weekly chart. Really shows the fractal nature of markets and how you can reach into a move that doesn't look like much and yet still extract value on a consistent basis. So now that we've hit this resistance, we've got very pathetic momentum in the smaller time frames. You got some momentum here, so that probably will have to be digested, but it's still unclear as to whether that will deliver much more to the upside. Usually the smaller time frames will degrade before the bigger time frames start to see that lack of follow through. Very much the same way that there's an inertia element, right? You got a big train full of cars full of coal, weighs hundreds of thousands of tons. It's going to be very hard to stop that, versus a little sports car that's got tons of braking power and really not all that weight in its chassis. Smaller time frames are more agile. They go fast, they go slow, they reverse a lot more often. It takes a lot more energy and time to reverse, let's say, a weekly. So my scenario here is still very much the same. Let me go ahead and draw that out, because these persist, and it gives you a chance to really prove, what we think is likely to happen. I think we're going to get a pullback. In my dreams, we get a double bottom. We may only get a higher low, and actually the higher low would probably be down in this area somewhat, based on our forecast elements. And if that occurs, then I'll be very focused on the momentum to see if there's any confirmation. Otherwise, we'll probably get a move up to this purple line, which is our 200 period moving average, which would bring us up to somewhere between 140 147, and that would really be the next leg up in gold. Now, one of our simplest trend indicators is this peachy line here, this 50 period moving average. It's pointing to the downside. So this is still a market in a downtrend. It hasn't confirmed a trend reversal yet. So to go long, we would need extreme confirmation, such as that double bottom or a clear higher low. But if we can get some kind of a complex bottom with momentum confirmation, then that has the potential to be the bottom, which will put enough power through it to turn that moving average back to the upside. This is something that's going to be probably a 2 to 3 month cycle. I can't imagine this is going to happen anytime soon. So this is definitely sort of deep background. And if we go back to the daily, you can kind of see where these lines are on the daily chart. I guess we can't go too much forward in time there, but we're going to get this push down, I think, that's going to start here. So essentially, you extracted value out of gold. It's not a clear short indication for me. You could perhaps, if you were very aggressive, be looking at it as a short. I would much rather look for other markets that have much stronger odds in my favor. We've already, taken a great trade, got a good forecast, extracted some value, and it's time to move on to the next opportunity. So that's sort of the background on gold. Follow through on that one setup. We'll come back and create new videos if and when a new setup occurs. So basically what you're going to see now as you watch these videos, and we talk about the 3D Apex trading methodology, is that we will go from very biased, right, with very strong forecasts that we're very confident on, to no bias. And that's essentially what's happening now to us in gold. Now we can go ahead and kind of map out what we think will happen, but the odds at this point are pretty muddy. Whereas before they were crystal clear and we could be very confident about our forecast. That's one of the great things about having this kind of a consistent analysis methodology is you don't have to hope or guess. You'll know when and how you have an edge. And so we had an edge in the gold market, and now we have either a coin flip or a mediocre edge. And so it's time to sit back and wait for another price cycle, which offers us a profit opportunity. So there you have it. I hope you were able to participate here. A nice, clean, and profitable swing trade opportunity in the gold market.